You want an other firearm or an SBR without a tag stamp, but you're not sure if you should get one in 223 or 9mm. After all, you have here a Glock, there a Glock, everywhere a Glock. In this video, we're looking at the Troy A4 Other Firearm in 9mm, a pistol caliber firearm designed to run on Glockazines. What's up everyone, welcome Squad, and welcome to Slav Guns. I'm glad to have you here. Over the previous year, I have covered a number of other firearms from both Troy and Darkstorm Industries, two of the leaders in this new firearm format that has become the most popular seller in banned states such as New Jersey and Connecticut. The most commonly asked questions on those videos is, should I get one in 5.56 or 9mm? The answer is, it depends. It depends on your goals, your existing firearms, and quite simply what you're able to find in the stores. In this video, I will go over the features that make you say, this is the gun for me. If you live in New Jersey or Connecticut, you have recently visited a gun store, you will instantly recognize that this is an other firearm. For my friends in the rest of free America, you might be screaming at the computer on your phone right now saying, hey dummy, you know you can't put a vertical foregrip on a pistol, right? And this is why we're going to take a moment and go over the firearm's configuration. This is an other firearm. An other firearm is relatively new definition by the ATF for a firearm designed to be fired with two hands. Because this gun comes from the factory with a vertical foregrip and is designed to be fired with two hands, it is not a pistol. Because the firearm comes with a pistol brace and not a stock, it is not a rifle. And because the overall length is greater than 26 inches, it is not an AOW or any other weapon. People often confuse AOW and other firearm, but they're two distinct different categories. The reason why this firearm is groundbreaking in the states of New Jersey and Connecticut, and why these are the most popular sellers over the previous year, is that the state laws were written for handguns and long guns, not other firearms. This is why you can have the adjustable pistol brace, the shorter barrels, flash hiders, and fretted barrels. Generally, these are all features that are defined as evil and cannot be had on a standard AR-15 in those banned states. Essentially, the only laws that will apply would be the magazine restrictions, namely 10 rounds. I'm not in those states, and this mag is certainly not 10 rounds. For free states, an other firearm allows you to put a proper vertical foregrip on an otherwise AR pistol. I've previously covered two Troy A4 Other Firearms in 223, so take a look at those videos linked above. This one is chambered in 9mm. So let's start at the front and then work our way back. The Troy A4 Other Firearm in 9mm comes with a 13.5-inch barrel with 1 in 10 rifling. As with other pistol caliber carbines, this is a direct blowback gun, so there's no gas tube here, and the firearm operates from the gas pressure working the action. At the front, you're going to find the Troy, sorry, I'm pointing the gun at you. So at the front, you have the Troy Claymore muzzle brake. While the brake is designed to reduce muzzle flip and recoil, the primary purpose of this is designed to direct the muzzle blast and sound forward away from the shooter. If you're shooting this at a public range, your range mates will also thank you for not having an obnoxiously loud break. Personally, I like them. You know, loud breaks save lives. Or is that pipes? In either case, the muzzle brake and the barrel are threaded 1/2x36, and the 13.5-inch barrel is not pinned. What this means is that if you want to replace the muzzle brake with something else, you can. It also means if you're visiting Free America or decide to call it quits on New Jersey and Connecticut and come visit or move, you can throw on a suppressor and really have fun. The one thing is, so just make sure that it's not 1/2x28, it's 1/2x36. Generally, most of the 223 cans for rifles are going to be 1/2x28, and the pistol cans in 9mm are 1/2x28 as well. However, when it comes to PCCs, sometimes you'll find them 1/2x28, but what they wouldn't want to have you do is put a 1/2x28 pistol can on a 223, because the can is not going to last, and if it's a cheaper can, it just might blow up from the pressure. So that's why you have a 1/2x36. So if you already have existing cans, you might need an adapter, or basically like a 1/2x36 to a 1/2x28 adapter, or a 1/2x36 adapter for your suppressor. Okay, so moving on. The rail on this gun is the same one that you find on the 5.56, and it's a 10-inch SOCC rail from Troy. As to be expected, it is free-floated. The rail features a full-length Picatinny rail on top, to where you can mount your lights, your lasers, optics, and backup sights. And you also have M-lock slots in 7 positions, although only 5 of them are going to be usable, which is the 2 positions on the sides, the 1 position on the bottom, and 2 at 45 degrees in the middle. The rail is very nicely sized and will accommodate a number of different grip styles, whether you're holding it by the grip or you're trying to C-clamp it. The vertical foregrip is the same Troy CQB grip that you find on the 5.56 models, and you have this nice waterproof compartment where you can store your batteries or even an extra round of two of ammo. On top of the rifle, you're going to find something that you typically only find from Troy Other Firearms, and that is these excellent Troy folding battle sights. No cheapy polymer sights here. Most other firearms come optics ready, meaning no sights. Moving on to the upper receiver, you're going to find something unique that Troy features, such as this brass deflector. This should help in the reliability of shooting a relatively short 9mm round in an upper designed for the longer 223 rifle round. Completing the rifle is going to be a standard charging handle. Moving back, you have other distinctive feature of the Other Firearm and why it's not a short barrel rifle, and it's the SB tactical brace on its 5-position buffer tube. It's a solid pistol brace designed to make it easy to attach to your forearm, or of course you can use it however you want. Moving down, you find another distinctive feature of the Troy Other Firearms, besides the Troy vertical grip, rail, and sights, and that is the Troy Control Grip. What sets it apart is that it's meaningfully more upright than your standard AR right here. It's meaningfully more upright than your standard AR grips, and this makes it ideal for both CQB and keeping the rifle closer to you, along with for precision shooting, where you're able to pull the trigger back in a more straight back fashion. Just like the vertical foregrip, you also have a nice storage compartment in the bottom of the pistol grip. Speaking of the trigger, it's a stock mil-spec trigger, nothing to write home about, but it's also not abnormally bad. There are a ton of AR-15 triggers out there, and they're largely a personal preference. Find one that you like. Lastly, we come around to what makes this a 9mm. You have a lower receiver designed to accept Glockazines, specifically small frame Glockazines. Typically, pistol caliber carbines are made either to accept Colt or Glock pattern magazines, with or without spacers. The Troy A4 9mm has a lower receiver designed around a small frame Glock magazine. It will accept everything from your standard Glock 17 round 9mm mags to the compact and subcompact Glock 19 and 26 magazines, or moving the other direction, proper Glockazines such as the 33 round Amend 2 Glockazines. Another unique feature of the Troy is that they designed this lower to maintain the magazine release in the same place as on a traditional AR-15. There is a last round bolt hold open, which so far has been reliable. Another nice feature is that you do have a bit of a beveled mag wall that'll help in the reloads. Okay, so let's load up some mags and put some rounds down range. Alright, this is seriously fun. And these are the Amend 2, these are the big sticks, so I mean, yeah, if you're buying this in Jersey and Connecticut, you can't have this, but if you come visit us in America, you can borrow some of these. Now, I do wish I had a 1/2x36 suppressor, because the 9mm, this would be fun. Oh, and it did lock back on the last round. Cool. All right, so honestly, I didn't expect it to be as much fun as I remembered it. And I was thinking of a comment, okay, would I rather have this or the PC Charger? And that's a very good question. What I will say is I think the PC Charger, it's a more compact package, but you do definitely have better ergonomics on this gun because, I mean, well, it is like an AR, and especially if you're using this as a training tool for a regular AR, this would be perfect. I mean, the gun is stupid accurate, even with the flip-up sights. With the dot, it would also be really, really fun. Once again, it locks back, which I know is one of the common issues with PCCs. It's definitely cool. So, I mean, there is a little bit more recoil versus on a 5.56, and once again, that's because it's a direct blowback gun versus a gas system. Not noticeably more recoil, little bit, but if you're thinking that, well, 9mm is going to have less recoil than 5.56, then no, you're wrong. This will have more recoil. But yeah, no, it's good. I mean, the brake on here is not bad. Very pleasant to shoot, especially if you're going to be shooting it indoors. It does do a job of redirecting the muzzle blast forward. And actually, I'll include it in here, but the first round that I put through, I forgot my hearing protection because I just took my earplugs out and I was going to put these on. And I was a little bit surprised as to why this didn't hurt my hearing. Although it wasn't that bad. And I mean, it almost sounded like shooting a 5.56 round supersonic with a suppressor. That's what this sounded like with a 9mm, and that's because it redirects most of the sound and the blast forward. So this is actually very nice. Very pleasant to shoot. I definitely like this gun, and it would be a very difficult choice between this and a PC Charger. For a range toy, I think this is awesome. But I'll keep thinking about that. So, yeah, cool. I'll load up a couple more mags, we'll have a little fun, and then we'll get back to the video. You want to shoot? Bottom line, the Troy A4 Other Firearm in 9mm is certainly a nice firearm and so far has been 100% reliable for me. You have much of the same parts and features that you would find on the 5.56 versions on this 9mm variant. I further shot this gun with Glock, Magpul, ETS, and Amend 2 magazines, such as this guy and the 33 rounder, and all have been reliable, and my choice of mags are the new MN2 mags. If you are in New Jersey or Connecticut, the gun will come with 10 round Glock 26 mags, although that might certainly change. So, should you buy this gun? Maybe. And I think this will also depend on where you're currently living, either in a banned state such as New Jersey or in a free state like Pennsylvania, along with if you currently have a 5.56 AR or a Glock magazine handgun. There are many people who believe strongly in magazine commonality, and if you're a first-time gun owner who purchased the Glock, the Troy A4 9mm would accept the same magazines, and you would also have ammo commonality. As far as caliber is concerned, you will often hear that 223 is bad for home defense because it can over-penetrate. And well, so can 9mm. It's largely dependent on the types of bullets that you're using. Is it full metal jacket, or is it an expanding type of bullet such as hollow points or expanding full metal jacket? What I will say, however, and likely contrary to what many of you believe, there's actually less recoil on the 5.56 caliber variants than the 9mm. The 5.56 is a traditional gas gun where some of the energy from the round being fired is directed into a gas tube and used to cycle the bolt carrier group. This creates a bit of a delay and I would say a smoother feeling recoil. The 9mm guns are all direct blowback, meaning all of the force of the round being fired is used to push the bolt back. Is it a lot more recoil? No, but it is more noticeable, and if you're expecting 9mm to have less recoil, it's not. What the 9mm is going to be, however, is generally cheaper to shoot, and why quite a few people looking at pistol caliber chambered AR-15s as training guns. I also do have to point out that typically pistol caliber chambered AR-15s are not going to be as reliable, with common issues being feeding and magazines not locking back. This is simply what you get when you try to rechamber a gun designed for a rifle round to shoot a significantly shorter cartridge. And while the AK variants chambered in 9mm are reliable, it's because the entire Kalashnikov action and receivers were shrunk down a bit to specifically work with pistol calibers. AR-15s, on the other hand, are essentially exactly the same size, and the earlier models, and quite a few today, are still running the same upper and lower receivers with spacers. So, has Troy been reliable? Yes, but I do not expect it to be as reliable as the 5.56 variants. And when you think about it, competitive shooters in USPSA PCC division, that's the pistol caliber carbines, they spent thousands of dollars on a gun, not to make it better, but primarily to make it more reliable. So, between the Troy A4 Other Firearm A9 or 5.56, my personal preference would be the 5.56. And I have thousands of trouble-free rounds without any stoppages. In fact, we put over 1,000 rounds for the gun in an hour in a video linked above. The caveat is, however, if you need a pistol caliber carbine. Many ranges will have action pits where you can train with your firearms. However, we're not going to allow rifle calibers in there. Most will, however, allow pistol caliber chambered firearms, and that is where the Troy 9mm AR would work. Is it the ultimate personal defense weapon? No. For that, I still would take the Ruger PC Charger pistol with my suppressor on it any day of the week and twice on Sunday. If you're living in New Jersey or Connecticut, however, this is absolutely not even close to legal as a pistol before we even get to the suppressor. So then your choice is the Troy A4 Other in 9mm versus something like the Ruger PC Carbine. And that is where I feel the Troy and Other 9mm ARs are more appealing. You will generally have better ergonomics, and in a state like New Jersey, will allow you to have features such as the adjustable pistol brace and the ability to swap out the muzzle devices. So that's the Troy A4 Other Firearm in 9mm. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you do, take a look at the other other firearms videos I did linked in a playlist above, and you can check out the videos on the excellent Ruger PC carbines and PC charger linked above as well. As always, thank you for watching, keep on squatting, and I'll see you next time. Cool.